I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
Found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running toes. They gonna take it.
This is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. I'm excited about today's episode. I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas. Got my bros. I hope y'all enjoy your Christmas. I know I had a good one. But before we get into our intro, I just want to tell y'all we got some good topics for y'all today. I know they played on Sunday, but we still got to talk about the Dolphins and Cowboys game. We had to. It was a down-the-wire game, right? We also got to talk about the slate of Christmas games that happened for the NFL. And we're going to slide to the NBA because we haven't done this yet. We're going to give our prediction because they say the NBA season starts after Christmas. So we're going to give our NBA Finals matchup prediction. But like I said, I got two of my bros with me. I got Davey Dollars. I got Missy Get Done Son Tomo. How y'all doing, fellas?
I'm doing great. You know, right there. I'm doing all right. Had a tough loss last night, man. You know, got to get the eulogy together. Got a RIP to an MVP candidate. You know, Brock Purdy. So, yeah.
Dak.
Nope. The CMC still in the race. So
I said for me, Dak.
Oh well, yeah, Dak too. But look, man, it's still some exciting stuff to talk about. Even though we lost. The game was intense for at least the first half, you know, at least it was good for the first half. And, you know, we got some other games to talk about. The Eagles won a close game against the Giants when I thought it should have been a blowout, but hey, you know, that's the divisional rival. So, who knows what happens. Then the Chiefs lose to the Raiders at home. Then we had, like you said, a slate of Christmas Day game. So we got to talk about all the stuff that's going to go on after that. So let's turn up on Monday Wednesday. Sorry. Wednesday. Tuesday. All my days mixed up. Got all my days mixed up. But, man, it's Turn Up Tuesday. So let's turn up, man. Turn me up. Up.
Okay, that's me. All right, let's get it.
Do your thing, Jody.
All right, I'm waiting for the call. So look.
They are turned up in the comments.
I see. There, I see. Carl don't know what that even mean. All right, but anyway, look. Make sure y'all like this video.
He do, Joe. Hold on. I'm sorry, Joe. He do. Because of the Pistons, the check engine light. We smoke them.
All right, so look. Hey, Carl, you heard that, right? We are streaming this on 3 different platforms. On X, listen, y'all, on X, you can now comment. It will show up in our comment section. So if you're on X, or you know somebody that's faithfully on X, send it to them. So we are streaming this on X. Wow, on the intro. Let's get it.
I knew it.
All right, let's get it. I got you. I got you, Ty. Shout out to Ty, right? One of the 3 hosts of In the Red Corner. He had a great episode on Sunday. Shout out to them. With the $1.99 super chat in the introduction. I hope we don't, kind of take all the super chats he's going to do and put them on one super chat so he can actually end on time. But anyways, shout out to the gifts. MVP list Purdy was given out. Wow. Let's get it. All right. So like I said, we are streaming this on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe on all three platforms, share on all three platforms, and like the video on all three platforms. If you watch in the red corner, Mama was saying, make sure you like that video. So I want y'all to have the same treatment here, okay? Like that video if you haven't done it yet. And look, use that comment section. We can see all the comments that you putting on throughout the show. As his last comment, hey, it actually works. The X comment actually works, all right? So
okay,
we can see all the comments. We're gonna throw them on the screen. But like Ty, if you have a super chat, we're gonna pause everything we're doing, hold up, throw it on the screen, and you'll get your moment because we love all the gifts and the donations.
Donations.
And
Gifts.
last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tom, the floor is yours.
See, just like my fullback did right there, I fumbled the snap on the goal line. Like it was right there. I already knew what the play was, and I fumbled. And now look, the show must go on. So of course, like Joe said, we got a bevy of topics to talk about. Dave said it as well, but there's a few things I just want to go over before we get into our actual topic. You know, my man don't look depressed, man. He's smiling too much. I know somebody gonna be in the doghouse though. So you know, a lot of things happened on Sunday. Sam Howell got benched again. Mason Rudolph came down from the North Pole and gave the Steelers offense a few gifts. You know, they finally seen what touchdowns look like. I was going to say something about Dallas not beating another road team and the Dolphins actually beating a good team, but we about to talk about that right now. So let's just talk about one more thing before we get into that. The NFL and them streaming that game on Peacock. Bad idea. Bad timing. I see what y'all was trying to do, but that was a bad idea. You know what else was a bad idea? The Cowboys playing on Sunday in Miami. Why could that game not be in Dallas? You know, because it's the only place they seem like they know how to win. So the Dolphins nipped the Cowboys 22-20 victory from 5 field goals from Sanders, who was 5 field goals away from beating the Cowboys. And they secured a win. The Dolphins are running down the tunnel as we speak now, saying they can't beat a good team. Look what they just did. And the Cowboys are all in the press conferences now saying that, hey, we got to be road warriors. We got to be better. We got to do this. You know, you got to be strong. You got to be wise. You got to get it together. But like a penny with a hole in it, this team's still hopeless. What's your reaction to that game, guys? I'm going to start with you, Joe.
So I came on here last week, and you know it's the rumor out about y'all not being good on the road. Y'all just happen to play these good teams on the road. I mean, the Dolphins was not home; they were on the road. I'm sorry, and the Dolphins, that was a good win for them. I thought that they did a good job on CeeDee Lamb in the second half of the game. They kind of basically raced them out the game. Tua was pretty good. Especially that first drive when y'all pinned them down on their own 1 or 2 yard line, whatever it was. And on that third down play, he got that ball to Waddle to get him more breather on. That was a big play of the game. Obviously, the fumble was too. But people don't realize since Jalen Ramsey has been in lineup, the Dolphins has been a top 3 defense. I don't think nobody realized that. They've been a top 3 defense since Jalen Ramsey been in lineup. So I still think for the situation y'all were in, Miami is really good at home. Miami just came off a home loss against Tennessee, right? Or they beat New York in New York. That was in New York. Or that was in Miami. I'm not sure. But I know they lost on primetime against Tennessee. So they're looking for some get back. And y'all they didn't play bad, but the defense did a good job. 5 field goals? Because normally that's what's slipping on the road. That's what I hear. I hear on the defense on travel with the road, all right? Even though they gave up almost 40 points to the Seahawks at home. But that's hidden there, right? They don't know how to travel on the road. This defense actually traveled on the road. Now, Dolphins were getting downfield, but they were getting stops. They even got that stop to allow the Cowboys to get that last touchdown. All right? So the Cowboys, they come through and offense came through when it was needed. You know, that pass Brandon Cooks was beautiful. I would get on that. But that fumble in the beginning of the game was a costly fumble for y'all. That 100 yards for the rest of the game. But y'all just got to learn how to be a team that's a good team that's playing well. Because the only good team you actually beat to me were the Eagles, but they weren't playing well when y'all beat them. But I don't think I have a road issue. I think it's just because y'all are playing the better teams on the road. So And y'all don't force turnovers against the good teams. So that's the main issue to me.
Dave?
Yeah, I kind of sort of going to concede with what Joe said, but the Cowboys they really do have to play better on the road. Um, that's the biggest issue. It's not about them playing on the road. It's playing on the road against good teams. We know they can win on the road, especially if they go up against the Giants or the Commanders or
Chargers.
the Chargers, the Panthers. They can beat those teams on the road because those teams don't. Those teams aren't, at least this season. Those teams aren't that good. We've seen what happened with the Chargers. They just fired Brandon Staley, who should have been fired, but he is now gone. The Commanders are more than likely going to move on from Ron Rivera after the end of the season. The Panthers pretty much have thrown away the season. They have absolutely no star weapons on that offense other than the quarterback they just drafted. They have no O-line. They don't have a star running back. They don't have a star receiver. The best receiver they have is Adam Thielen, and he's not in his prime anymore. And the Giants are the Giants. The Cowboys just own the Giants. They're 4-0 against them the last 2 seasons, so they just own them. But I do have to give them credit for beating the Eagles. The Eagles weren't playing well, but the Eagles were still at that time the number 1 team in the NFC as far as record wise, and they also made sure that they beat them handily. Even though the thing is, the Cowboys were at home; they weren't on the road. They nearly beat them on the road early in the season, which was like 2 weeks before. But we see that didn't happen. The Cowboys also don't score as much on the road as they do at home. They score a lot more at home. Their record at home this year is what? It's 7-0, 7-0, 8-0. And they're 3-5 on the road. So that shows you what the difference is. They score less. They don't gain as many yards on the road. So the road woes are real. It's not real against bad teams. So they have to play better when they go against good teams like Philly on the road, like Miami on the road, or like San Francisco on the road. You see what happens when they play against San Francisco. It's almost like, I don't know. And then they got another test coming up because they got to play the Lions
at home.
So we'll see what happens with that game. The Lions could, still are in position to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. So that's something that they got to play for as well. So, but Cowboys they have to play a lot better on the road, especially against good teams. Or it's going to be like every other season for the Cowboys. They're going to go on the playoffs, go on the road, might be the NFC South, and then that's it after that.
Man, that's funny you say that, Dave, because it's looking like Groundhog's Day. It's looking like we're going to have to go down. We have to go down to Tampa Bay. We got to play a hot Tampa Bay team. Well, I don't think Tampa Bay was hot last year. Brady was still trying to. You called it, Dave. You said we was going to go down there and beat them. So I was still off the Brady mantra. But with this team, I don't think it's road woes. I think it's penalty woes. Undisciplined football. Like the Cowboys, again, this is what, the second year, going on maybe the third year where they're the top 5 team. I'm going to say top 2 team that's leading in penalties again. Here you go, but yet another drive where your defense could have made a stop, but you get a face mask penalty. Then you also got a defensive coordinator who loves man coverage, but when it's time to go against a team that knows how to scheme up good offenses, they make the plays. You go man on a crucial 3rd and 2 with Tyreek Hill. Granted, Lewis did slip, but at the end of the day, why are you going man right there? You know where they're going to try to get the ball to. It's either they're going to get it to Tyreek or they're going to run the ball. And what happened? Last week we played the Bills, and I'm going to steal somebody's quote, where they just kept handing the ball to Cooks over and 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 over again. And shout out to Marshawn Lynch, but you got punched in the face. The week before you said it, D-Law, about the Eagles, but the Bills came and did the same thing to you. And if you punch somebody in the face like that, they're not gonna want to keep going through that. After the Dolphins got that first down, what did they do? They said, we can hand the ball off. We can close this game out. 2 crucial runs, field goal, time to go home. One thing I will say about this defense is you took one of the number one offense and you held them to 1 touchdown. Like, that's a win. That's a win in my book. About this offense, can Dak Prescott lead you down and actually get you a game-winning touchdown? Yeah, but can Dak Prescott go on the road and get you 30 to 40 points? This offense has yet to show that. We need well-balanced complementary football, and that's just not what's happening with this team when they go on the road. Maybe it's because when they get in the hotel room, everybody on different floors, they not kicking it like they need to. Maybe they don't got the sleep number mattresses. There's a lot of jokes there that can be said, but the team is proving that if the team is almost of your level or superior on the road, they got a chance to win this game. So for me, if they start playing more disciplined football, they can win some of these games on the road. But I want to take 1 second, though, and just say, look, the Dolphins did what they were supposed to do. Their offense didn't show up like it normally would, but they found a way to win the game. And that's just what good teams do. We've been talking about that trash 11-win team. I seen that comment, Kev. But they've been finding ways to win games in bad situations. And if you want to be good, you got to find a way to win in bad situations, road or at home.
Yeah, and the point differential, the Cowboys splits the season 7-0 at home, plus 171 at home, and on the road 3-5, -4 differential.
Yep.
Who they lose to on the road though?
Cardinals, 49ers,
49ers,
49ers, Eagles.
Dolphins,
Eagles just beat the Chiefs, right?
Dolphins and Bills.
And Dolphins. Huh?
Dolphins
So-
and Bills.
They beat the Bills. It lost to the Bills at home. And the Bills are streaking right now, right? They're playing well right now. They lost to the Dolphins away. They lost to the Eagles after they beat the Dolphins and the Chiefs. They lost to the Cardinals when they were down 3 offensive linemen, and the Cardinals did what nobody was doing the first 2 games, running the ball. And who they beat at home? The Eagles after they just got smoked by the 49ers. And what happened after they beat the Eagles? Didn't the Eagles lose again? All right, to who? The Seahawks? So the Eagles weren't the same. I'm not trying to take nothing away from y'all, but the Eagles y'all played in Philly was a different Eagles team y'all played in Dallas. So I don't think it's now obviously everybody plays a little bit better at home, but they don't have a big of a road problem. They just run into all their good teams on the road. Like the Dolphins, like you said. Now granted, Rado was out. Mostert was he only caught 1 pass and he was out after that. Mostert was limited. He got hurt. And they already down like 3 offensive linemen. They number 1 because of what they did first half of the season. So they haven't been number 1 lately. But y'all did hold them to 1 touchdown. That was big, And then, unfortunately, y'all had that turnover in the first drive. That actually killed y'all. So
it did.
Y'all just playing against good teams on the road, in my opinion.
But that's where the undisciplined part comes into place because you can make those mistakes against the Panthers because you can make up for it on the back end. You can't play like that when you got a 49ers or a Dolphins team. Even the Eagles, you can't play like that against them because they're gonna feed off of that. And also when you get in the red zone, you have to score. Like field goals can't do it. Technically, field goals did it for the Dolphins, but when you go into the NFC, field goals ain't gonna do that, man. You got to score.
Like, look at the teams y'all be at home. Y'all playing old mediocre teams, except for Philly. And then you might say Seattle, but y'all barely beat Seattle. So that's my thing. Like, y'all have a bigger problem than roads. I don't want everybody to keep labeling, they're not going to road. No, they have other, like Tomo said, they got to be more disciplined. It has nothing to do with road against good teams. Discipline against good teams.
That's what it is. Well, up next, the Cowboys got Detroit on Saturday, and then the Dolphins play Baltimore for who's going to be the true number 1 seed in the AFC. We're going to see, man. Shout out to the Browns, man. They out here doing the unthinkable. 4 quarterbacks in. We see you, Tay. But let's talk about a coach, man, who's not supposed to be here. Antonio Pierce. My man said we was going to do our mantra going into this game was by any means necessary, and the Raiders lived up to that. All I know is I cut the game on. I seen a pick 6. Is Mahomes, or is it the Wizard of Oz? Because I know that happened in Missouri. Like, is he clicking his red heels? Talking about, I wish I was home. Mahomes, not right now, because you're not looking too good. So we just got to talk about it, man. The Raiders stunned and a sloppy Chiefs team, man, with 2 defensive TDs, 20-14 on Christmas Day. That's a bad way to open presents. I guess they stayed up too late. Shout out to Taylor Swift. We just got to react to that right quick, man. Dave, what did that game teach you, man?
The Chiefs are not.
That's what they are. That's what they are.
The Chiefs are not this unbeatable team that most people thought that they would be going into the season. The Chiefs are not the Chiefs of the past. They have fallen into some woes, man. Patrick Mahomes is not playing well this year. Let's just be honest about it. His stats are very similar to Baker Mayfield. I don't think anyone thought that was going to be the case this year. Let me go to my notes so I can say exactly what those stats are, because I didn't think that was the case. I believe that Baker Mayfield has 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes has 25 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. That is not good for Patrick Mahomes. This is supposed to be the best quarterback in the league that I think everyone had pretty much had agreed with, just about. Even some Ravens fans had agreed that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. And with him being the best quarterback in the league, there were some things, even though the receivers have the most drops in the NFL. We thought Kadarius Toney would step up and be good this year, but we see that that's not the case. Rashee Rice seems to be coming to form and actually playing well. Travis Kelce is not even though we thought that Taylor Swift was helping him out, all of a sudden now Taylor Swift ain't helping him out. So what's going on with Travis Kelce? He's had multiple drops that could have been touchdowns this season. The Chiefs are just not playing well. And then Antonio Pierce has turned this Raiders team up. So there have only been 2 times, 2 coaches with the highest winning percentage in Raiders over the last 25 years, and they're both interim head coaches. It was Rich Bischotta with a 58% win percentage, and now Antonio Pierce with 57% win percentage. Look, I'm not a Raiders fan. I honestly do not like the Raiders, but as people remember, if you watched the show earlier this year, a friend of mine who passed away, he's a Raiders fan. So I'm speaking and I'm speaking for him. If you want to get back to Raiders football and be a competitive team, you better hire Antonio Pierce as the head coach. You will be making a mistake if you hire someone else other than him, because this team is rallying around him. This guy, he's a Super Bowl champion. He knows what he's doing. And he ain't out there calling plays, but he got them doing what they need to do. Keep him there, and it'll help the team out. Now, as far as everything else, the Chiefs in trouble. I don't think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl this year. I think I picked that in my preseason, and I'm sticking to that now. I don't think that they go to the Super Bowl. Their defense has been awesome. Their defense has helped them out this year, but their offense just can't seem to get it together. Patrick Mahomes is not playing well. They never really had a run game, so I can't put it on the run game. But Patrick Mahomes just is not playing. He's playing too much mistake football. So unless they somehow get it together within these last 2 weeks, I don't see how they make it to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to lose somehow, some way, and they honestly have if they don't win these last 2 games, the Raiders can actually come back and win this division. If the Raiders win out and the Chiefs lose these last 2, the Raiders can win this division. Now, I think that the Chiefs will win the division, but all I'm saying is it ain't a foregone conclusion. So Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs better get it together.
Man, I guess they need to shake it off. But they're not gonna be able to do that because Andy Reid came out and said they played a better game than we did today. Sound like a mantra that's been happening for most of the games that's been happening this season. Again, Mahomes is not looking like himself this season. I mean, he can have an off year. That's the grace that we give a Super Bowl winner such as himself. But their model, and Joe, you said this one time in the chat. I don't know if you said it on the show. If so, either way, I'm still going to give you credit for this, where the Chiefs are taking the Patriots mantra, where they want to say we're going to put all our money in our offensive line. We're not going to really pay our wide receivers, and we have our tight end, we have our quarterback, and everything else can just rotate in that type of scenario. Their defense is balling out this year. It's another thing Joe called before the season started. Shout out to you again. But again, it's something about when the receivers you put on the field can't catch the ball. You can't keep blaming the quarterback all the time, but something needs to change there. Do they need a new wide receiver coach? Was it really Eric Bieniemy? I know it's been a roller coaster where we were saying about they don't miss EB, but do they miss EB? Was it EB or was it not EB? It really don't matter because right now it's showing that both they miss each other, honestly. Like what's happening in DC, EB's like, just not what I'm used to. And it was happening in KC. They like, this is not what I'm used to. So I guess they both missing each other. For me, if the Raiders win this division and Antonio Pierce doesn't get this job, something's going on here. Because it was it Rich Bisaccia? That's his name, right? When he came in and won those games for them boys, I was like, this is your coach right here. This is it. And then they let him walk out the door and they bring in I'm not even gonna say his name, it's not even worth bringing up. They bring him in and you see what happens. This team is playing for this guy. It, like you said, he's not calling the plays, but he probably walked in that locker room and said, by any means necessary. And if you with me, then you know what that means. It's kind of like Marshawn Lynch. Like if Marshawn Lynch was a coach, I think some people would want to go play Prime. He coming in like Coach Prime. He giving them something to believe in because they could have just said, forget this season, we done. Went out there and did their thing, man. Shout out to Jack Jones too, because that pick six wasn't. He saw a high stepper. So for me, this game taught me more so about the Raiders need to make the right call, and the Chiefs just need to have some soul searching in this offseason. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, Tomo, you took the words in my mouth. Let's say this right here. The Chiefs have the number 2 defense. Repeat it again. They have the number 2 defense. Mahomes won the MVP last year. I'm going to say that again. He won the MVP last year. Led the league in passing yards last year. So why is your pass rush ratio, you throwing the ball a lot more this year than you did in your MVP season when you don't have the weapon? So Andy Reid is for you. Because like, he got all the credit, right? Eric Bieniemy ain't calling plays, right? Matt Nagy ain't really calling plays. It's Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid, why are you throwing the ball 44 times when the offense that you're going against has 62 passing yards? They only 2 touchdowns came from you throwing the ball and you being too pretty, handing the ball to them. What the heck was that? I don't know. Like, now, if you're going to do that, don't do it in your own territory like that, deep in your own territory. Like, come on. That's danger zone right there. So, I'm looking at the numbers, y'all. Did y'all know that this is the highest pass percentage Mahomes has ever had since he's been since his whole career? Do y'all know that? And we constantly complaining about the receiver. So why are we putting the game in these receivers' hands? Why aren't we running the ball more? Right? So that's what I don't understand. Why they won't hand the ball? Like you said, Tomo, they're trying to play the Patriots, right? Okay, what the Patriots do? Before Randy and them got there. What do you do? Led with the rush. If Brady got to make a play, he's going to make a play, but we trust the defense. We got to punt the ball, we're going to punt the ball. Unless you playing Peyton Manning and it's 3rd and 4, we're going to try to get the first down. Tell you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, outside of that, we're going to punt the ball, and we're going to rely on the defense. Right? Sometimes punting the ball is better than trying to do all this extra crap, passing the ball 3 downs in a row. Do the ball 44 times. I don't get it. Right? But look, another thing, right? I don't know if y'all can hear it. These people turned up in my house, right? But look, do y'all know that this year the Chiefs has had 7 games so far, scoring under 20 points? In Mahomes' whole career, they had 6 total. 6 total. And this year, 7. So it's a big problem, but Mahomes ain't playing well. The offensive line is not playing well. Only thing that's playing well over there is Pacheco when y'all actually give him the ball and the defense. Because Andy Reid is not doing a good job himself. So that's my 2 cents on that. Oh, I want to give a shout out to the Raiders too. I agree. Antonio Pierce need to get the head coaching job. All right. If I'm them, I'll probably wait until the end of the season, so let the season ride out and give it to him. But they better not move off from him because they moved off last year after they made the playoffs without not even being a playoff pitcher. So and gave the Bengals a run for their money. Should have won that game. That wasn't a catch by T. Higgins, by the way. But yeah, Raiders, be smart.
I don't know. That might have been a catch. But let's talk about that division before we get out of here, man. Because Broncos was in the basement. They fought their way back. Raiders were in the basement. They fought their way back. The Chargers, you let me down, man. Use my pick. You were supposed to be the number one team in the AFC. What's going on, Kellen? You know, what happened to, matter of fact, what happened to Justin Herbert? He was this guy. And you see what happened when that coach get over there. I ain't going to say nothing because my quarterback had to deal with that coach for a while. He had some good seasons. Numbers look good. But y'all see how it turned out. Anyway, Raiders got the Colts up next. And then the Chiefs got Cincinnati. We don't even want to talk about Cincinnati right now. I don't know what happened to them. Told you, Mason Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. But by any means necessary, we're going to get to this next topic. Before we're going to get this topic out the way, then we go to a commercial break, man. Is that cool with y'all fellas? Because something about this team, man, after losing 3 games in a row, they found a way to beat the Giants, man. They told them, man, we leaving here with something. And that's exactly what they did. They left there with a couple flags that should have been thrown, but I ain't going to say too much about it. The Eagles found a way to win a shootout with the New York Giants with both their quarterbacks. They won 33-25. I don't know if it was Tyrod or if it was DeVito, but at the end of the day, the Eagles found a way to win this game, coming off that 3-game skid, and still can win the NFC East, as long as they went out. Technically, the destiny's in their hands. So I'm going to say their name 3 times, and get my reaction. I'm going to really ask myself this question because I always ask Eagles fans this, and none of them seem to give me an answer outside of AJ. Shout out to you, AJ. What do you feel about your team knowing that they're playing the way they've been playing? You know, you come off of your gauntlet. What is their record? Like 5-3 coming off the gauntlet. Technically, you know, they went out and beat a few teams here and there. Their record is now 11-4. But I always ask them, like, how do you feel about this team? Because if you judge your performance of how y'all played last year versus this year, it's a totally different team. And in the NFL with the cap and everything, you know, rosters are bound to change. But when your core nucleus is there, a lot of it shouldn't change to the drastic measures that this has changed. Yesterday, the crowd started chanting, run the ball, run the ball. Eagles started running the ball. That's technically what changed the fate and fortune of this game, because once they started listening and actually handing the ball off to Gainwell, who had 42 yards, and then handing it off to Swift, who found 92 yards, and Hurts using his legs here and there for 34 yards, it actually helped them get the momentum back. Because when you keep passing the ball, bad things are bound to happen, like a pick six. They got the Giants back in the game when you were supposed to take the lead. I think it was 10-7 at that point. That would have been 17. Like, come on now, easy. But now the Giants are back in it. Or your 76 passing defense, giving up big plays to Tyrod Taylor, who came in after DeVito got benched. It's just a lot of things that's happening. A lot of players are now going back to the locker room saying, like, we just happy we won this game, but there's a lot of things to fix. But technically, I still don't know who the Eagles are. Are they John Doe? They playing like it because I don't know this team, but they winning. So technically, they might be my man Jason Bourne. They out here just beating people and disappearing. That's just what it is. That's what I learned from that. And the Giants, ain't too much to say about the Giants, man. Tyrod Taylor should have been y'all backup the whole time. I don't know why y'all was playing. Y'all let DeVito come in there and go on his insanity run. Now all I can say is, Mamma Mia. Dave.
So I like the question you asked, Tomo. How do we feel about the Eagles right now? Are they the second best team in the NFC? Are they the third best? Are they the fourth best? I don't know. They're not the best. I think that's clear. But what are they going to do with this team? Like, what are you expecting for them to do when they get to the playoffs? They're in the playoffs, so we know that. They're either going to be the 2 seed or the 5 seed. We don't know. So I want to ask another question. I think we've asked this before. What is Eagles football? What is y'all best? It is now week 17. And you won a close game to the Giants, a team that the Cowboys blew out, the Niners blew out, that a lot of teams are blown out. I get it. This is a divisional game, but you're playing against Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. You should be able to beat these teams without any hesitation. And they pretty much were picking your defense apart. At some point, this is just exactly what y'all are. Y'all are a team that's going to give up a lot of yards through the air, and y'all going to allow points that way because y'all can't stop anybody from throwing the ball on y'all. You're not getting enough pressure up front with your front seven. You went and signed Shaq Leonard, which is, he's going to come to form. I don't think Shaq Leonard has lost a step, honestly. That's just a situation that happened in Indianapolis. But is that going to help out everything else? Is that going to help out with your pass coverage? I don't think so. Mac Jones picked that defense apart. Sam Howell picked that defense apart. I can go on and on about all these teams that picked your defense apart, and it continues to happen. When you get into the playoffs, quarterbacks are better than those quarterbacks that I just named. You got Jared Goff, who's liable to throw the ball on you a lot. You already played Dak Prescott. He could do it. Baker Mayfield showed that he could do it as well. Even though you won that game 25-11, that's a team that you may have to think about. You still got the Vikings who are in position to try to get to come in there. If you play the Vikings, are they? I'm not saying that you're going to lose to the Vikings, but how are you going to look against this team? What are your expectations? Y'all said that y'all focused on winning. You're focused on getting back to the Super Bowl. I don't see a Super Bowl team right now. I see a playoff team for sure, but I don't see a team that's going to get back to the Super Bowl because a lot of things that are happening are not what was happening for you last season. You could rely on that defense and your offense. You had a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense. Your offense is still there, but they have questions now because sometimes your offense isn't always there because your offense wasn't there against Seattle, and Seattle was able to actually come back and win that game. Now your offense was there against the Giants, but your defense wasn't there. So it's like no matter what game it is, you got one part that shows and one part that doesn't. So there hasn't been a game this year where your team has been consistent on both sides of the ball. So this Eagles team, I don't know what y'all are expecting right now, but I'm telling you, for me, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a Niners fan, but I don't see how you're going to win the NFC and get back to the Super Bowl. I don't see it.
All right. So Eagles
Finally.
now.
Sorry.
Okay. You gotta look at it like this, y'all. The Eagles have been on a 3-game losing streak. So their first win after 3-game losing streak is gonna be like a relief. Like, okay, we got it done. Now I'm curious to see how they're gonna look next week. So when I watched that game, the first half, Eagles football. They were a well-balanced team. They were running the ball and throwing the ball. They were doing both well-balanced. They scored the most points they scored all season in the first half, 20. All right? Looking good. And then in the second half, with the lead, pass. I mean, Jalen Hurts threw the ball 38 times, and they were up most of the game. Why? Why are you throwing the ball? I keep saying this. Jalen Hurts is not at best when he's throwing the ball a million times. He's at best when he's playing off the run game. But no, this offensive coordinator the Eagles got keep falling in love with throwing the ball, which I don't understand. Like, this running the ball, you got one of the best offensive lines. They haven't been playing as good as they were last year, but you still have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And you have Swift is a good running back, right? And Gainwell has been good for y'all also. But a good sign for the Eagles is that down the stretch, what do? Hey, Swift. It was one point when Swift lost yards on back-to-back plays, and on third down, they did throw a screen. But, they played it safe. But they were running the ball. Swift carried on that last drive. So I don't really want to talk about the defense. The defense is what it is. All right? Like, I'm not expecting that defense they do make timely stops. They make timely plays. They get turnovers at the right time. But the offense not doing them any favors by turn the ball over. You already know your defense is not forcing turnovers. The offense is turning the ball over at a high rate this year. That pick six was ridiculous. Slipping that was crazy. That changed the whole game. Gave the Giants all the momentum and the fumble on the special teams. Like, come on. So the Giants should have never been in that game. You have 20-3 at the link. The link? Come on, man. So, but I want to see how the Eagles look next week because I had a feeling that I knew they were going to win, but I had a feeling it was going to be an ugly win because they've been pressing for a win. And you can tell they calling a fair catch from the kickoff. They worried about fumbling the ball. So I got to wait and see next week.
See, that's the thing about it, though, because they kept saying that this game was going to be used as a measuring stick, right? That's what they were calling it because it was based upon how they played the last 3 games. This game technically looked like the Seahawks game, but they just won it.
They actually look better. It is. No, you're right. It looked the same.
It looked like the same game. Like they kept giving the Seahawks chances to get back in the game, except for Drew Lock actually closed it out. And Tyrod Taylor's situation was, well, it happened. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, like Drew Lock was more on point. Let's put it like that. But the one big play to Darren Waller was on Bradbury. Again, like it makes no sense. But they could definitely figure it out next week. They coming up against Gannon. I think that one's in Arizona. No, they host Arizona. They got another home game. So Gannon's gonna come there. They probably be more prepared because a lot of the players were coming out saying like, we're happy we won, but we don't like our performance. So we'll see.
Man, Gannon gonna be ready defensively though. I gotta tell you that right now.
We know.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Buddha Bacon and boys gonna be ready going into Philly.
But yeah, so we'll see.
We gonna see the link. That was funny, though. That was funny. But we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, man, and we're gonna come right back. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe, become a member, because we gotta talk about that Monday night game. I know, Dave. I know it happened, but we gotta talk about it, and we gotta pick who we got coming out of the East and the West.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm ready to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, calm down. We back, fellas. This is the game. Yeah, you on mute, Joe. This is the game of the century. Oh, some would say. I don't know. You got 2 teams. They played in the Super Bowls. They want to say it's to cut the lights on bowl. No disrespect, but we got the. Are you my dad, Bo? We don't know. There's just so much stuff going on here, man. You got the 49ers versus the Ravens, and then you've seen how the 49ers have just been beating up on teams. Even when they had their downfall, Purdy had a way to almost win the game against the Browns, but he was still there. You got the MVP race. Is it Purdy? Is it CMC? Then you got Joe 2 weeks ago saying like, hey, if Lamar win this, man, like he could jump the line. You gave the analogy about, you walk up, everybody got their dress clothes on. That's a running thing on the social medias now. Some of we be business casuals in the club. You walk up now with your big jersey on, $200. I'm in the club. Sorry, should have paid the extra. Lamar paid the extra because now they put a beating on them boys, man. Put the Beats by Dre's on them. Lamar Jackson, man, found a way to get back into the MVP conversation after they go to Santa Clara. Still they Levi James, 33-19. It's a game now, y'all. Levi James. I see y'all laughing, man, but we got to talk about it. And we saved the best for last. So we're gonna start with you, Joe. What did that game teach you about the Ravens? Or you want to go first? Okay, all right, we're gonna start with you, man.
Yeah. This my team. So I'm just because we lost, it don't mean I'm gonna go last. I'll still go first. It's fine.
Okay.
So let me get all the credit to the Ravens first. Let me start that off this way. So the Ravens have clearly showed that they're the best team in the NFL. Let's just be honest about that. I saw a lot of stuff where people were trying to give the defense more credit than Lamar Jackson. Hey, I get it. The defense did create 5 turnovers, but Lamar Jackson still showed why he is a dynamic quarterback and why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And like Joe said, at the very least, the second best quarterback in the league. The man, I mean, he was my preseason vote for MVP. And right now, even though Lamar Jackson may not have the stats, he don't have all the touchdowns, he don't have all the yards. Don't mean anything. If you look at this team does not win without Lamar Jackson being here. Because we saw this team when Snoop was there, and they won a little bit, but it wasn't like this. Now this defense, and think about all the injuries they've had at running back. J.K. Dobbins out. They've had so many injuries this season, and no matter what, Lamar Jackson has been balling out. Y'all know Lamar Jackson has won no matter who his offensive coordinator is. So he went 6-1 on the Marty Morningwig. On the Greg Roman, he went 38-14. And on the Todd Monken right now, he's now 12-3. Lamar Jackson is clearly the MVP of the season right now. He's done everything he needs to do to lead this team to where they are. They have a rookie receiver who's the number 1 receiver right now. I think that's without a question. Zay Flowers is their best receiver. Odell Beckham is not what he used to be, but he still has flashes of showing you how good he can be. They got Nelson Aguilar, who's known for dropping the ball a lot, but he's out there making plays. And then their best tight end is out for the rest of the season. They got Isaiah Likely out there stepping up with their best tight end being out for the rest of the year. They had injuries on defense. Kyle Hamilton went down last night after he had 2 picks. Who knows what happens to him? I'm hoping for a speedy recovery because it could be an MCL or ACL. We don't know. But he went out yesterday. They've had injuries on this team all season long, and the Ravens have just been winning no matter what. Now, they're not undefeated, so they have 3 losses on the year, but it doesn't matter. They have 7 wins of 14-plus points against teams that are over 500. The only other team that has at least 4 is San Francisco, and they went and beat San Francisco at home 33-19. Technically, it was 33-12 because they got a touchdown late in the end with Sam Darnold throwing it to Ronnie Bell, let me make a correction from what they said on TV. That's his second touchdown of his rookie season, not his first, because he had one early in the year when Juwan Jennings went down. So my guy got 2. So that's pretty much that. But the Ravens are by far the best team offensively and defensively right now because no matter who they play, they go out and dominate. They have the Dolphins coming up next Sunday. This is going to be another good matchup. With Kyle Hamilton, of course, he's going to be out, but I still think the Ravens are going to win that game. That's just me making my early prediction. The Ravens, to me, are the best team in the NFL, best team in the AFC. That's without question right now. Now let's talk about my team. Brock Purdy, who, Joe had made the case for him being MVP. Had me right there with him. I think it's without question he's not in the race anymore. He had by far his worst game of his career yesterday.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
4 interceptions, 3 in the first half. He had 3 interceptions in the first half. 3. The first one was clearly on him because he didn't read the defense well. There were clearly 2 deep safeties there, and he threw the ball entirely too late. If he threw it on time, it would have been a good pass, but he threw it way too late, and he just gave a gift to Kyle Hamilton. Picked it off clearly, and this was after we had 2 big plays from George Kittle to get us down there into the red zone.
Gifts.
Now I have to talk about Kyle Shanahan. Let me say this now. I'm not saying that I'm not putting this loss all on Kyle Shanahan. But however, this is the problem I have with Kyle Shanahan when we go up against great teams.
Bruh.
He gets too pass happy. In the first half, we had 14 pass plays to 7 run plays. Kyle Shanahan, that is not our offense. And people want to say that we weren't moving the ball. That's not the case. We were averaging 6.3 yards per play in that game. And it was mostly because of the run. We had more passing yards than they did. We had more rushing yards than they did. We outgained Baltimore 429 to 343. But you know where we messed up at? Throwing the ball too much and turning the ball over. Brock Purdy has played well this year. He's played great this year, and he's been throwing the ball well. You know, he still leads the league in passer rating. He has thrown for over 4,000 yards. But none of that means anything if you don't go out there and win, and especially if you turn the ball over. And I said this during the chat yesterday, that if we turn the ball over too much, the defense is going to get tired, and we're going to start giving up points. And that's exactly what happened. The defense was on the field too much because Purdy just kept giving them the ball. So Purdy cannot play like that in order for us to win. CMC had a good game. He had over 100 yards. Debo, did what he could do. BA started to shine in the end. Kittle had a really good game. But it's all on the quarterback. If we're going to give him credit for us winning, he's going to have to get credit for the loss. So Purdy played bad. He played bad in that game, and I'm not giving him any excuses. That was just bad. And the Ravens just played great defense. They played great defense. They capitalized on all the mistakes that he made. Ravens played well. Niners played terrible.
Sure.
All right. You all right? Got a lot of your system just now. You good?
I'm good. I just had to be honest about it. I can't come in here and be biased. I had to be honest. Purdy is not in the MVP race. So there you go.
Tough day. All right. So now, before I get started, I hear the noise, the noise in the chats. Oh, Joe, Purdy MVP. Oh, Joe. I see the comments, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Did I pick Purdy to win MVP? To win MVP? No. Did I pick Purdy before the season? No. Am I a Purdy fan? No. My precipitation was Mahomes. Clearly, I'm wrong on that one. But we all make predictions. I predicted the Cowboys miss the playoffs and the Commanders would. I mean, we all make predictions, right? And we all get them wrong. But one thing I do is call it like I see it. And how I saw it, Purdy was the MVP front runner. That's all I was saying. Front runner. And I said, if Lamar Jackson rose up to Levi and beat Purdy, he will take it. And I also said, if Purdy has a bad game and Dak wins, he will pass Purdy, but Dak didn't do his part. One thing I was wrong about, I said Tua will be out of the race. He has to beat the Ravens. I would say he's in the race now. He's back in the race. So people hit me up. Oh, Joe, this. I'm like, dude, I was calling like I saw it. He was winning. But now he's not winning like they said. But one thing I got to say is this. Lamar's that guy, man. I mean, Lamar, he's that guy. He just is. Lamar different. The Ravens should be undefeated. They should. I'm sorry. But they slip up. They don't bring their A game. When the Ravens don't bring their A game, they get beat by the Colts, then bring their A game. Beat by the Steelers, then bring their A game. Lose to the Browns, then bring their A game. But when they come to play, they don't lose. When Lamar don't turn the ball over, they don't lose. So I want to show you what Lamar did right here. All right. I got a clip for y'all. All right. It's what Lamar did yesterday. All right, so it's what he did right here. Hold on. There you go. My man
Yeah.
went to Levi Stadium and stole that MVP trophy from Brock Purdy. That's what he did. Stole it. Ain't got the
face,
stats.
man.
I mean, look at this, man. Got the ski mask on. Look at this, y'all. Look. This man is 15th in passing yards, 14th in passing TDs, 8th in QBR, 8th in QB rating, 18th in rushing yards, first amongst QBs, by the way. 19th in rush TDs, third for QBs, but he does have the least amount of interceptions in the NFL for anybody who played over 14 games. And he's an MVP. Like, how? How is that even possible? This is why. The MVP candidates, Brock Purdy. He had his worst game in his whole career when the moment, the two best teams in the NFL, AFC, NFC, and MVP game. Not just the best, who's the best team. It was an MVP game. And he had his worst game at home on Christmas. So he drops. Jalen Hurts, he beat the Giants, but he threw a pick six. I let the Giants back in the game. And they just came up with a 3-game losing streak. He not in it. Dak Prescott just lost to the Dolphins. Was that his fumble on the goal line too? Right? That's his fumble, right?
They gave it to him, but I really think never mind. Yeah, it's Dak's fumble. I'm not even about to do it.
That wasn't on Dak. That was on.
It wasn't, but I'm not going. I can't be the guy.
They lost 2 in a row. So who wants to win MVP? So this is how I got it. Thursday I'm gonna bring in outside top 5, but right now Lamar has taken it based off when they play against certain teams, right? When they play certain teams, when they streaking, Lamar knocked their head off. I look at remember the Lions game? The Lions were streaking. And what Lamar do? Beat them 37-3. Sorry, 38-6. Seahawks. Man, the Seahawks gonna be they're a really good team. What do you do to the Seahawks? 37-3. The Bengals, Joe Burrow just sliced and diced the 49ers. Just beat them. What do you do? Beat them 34-20. Joe Burrow, they get hurt. And the Rams been peaking. They got into Baltimore. What Lamar do? 37-31 in overtime. And the 49ers, man, I don't know what team that could beat this team. They fully healthy. They got all they weapons. Man, fully healthy, they not losing. What Lamar do? 33-19. Against those teams, Lamar is averaging 275 passing yards a game, 67 completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, 53 rushing yards a game. That's why he's an MVP, because when he plays against these teams, when they're streaking, these good teams, he goes in there and knocks their head off. And I'm going to get to it Thursday, but Lamar right now is a firm run of MVP. So there you go. Go ahead, Tomo.
Joe, you got to warn us, man. I really thought you was about to be funny and put Jimmy Butler up there.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I saw this coming, man. But look, Lamar Jackson gets all the credit, man. Like, there's no, and to all the people that before this game said that the 49ers were going to blow out, do not know football. You do not know. They clearly have not watched the Ravens at all this year to think that the 49ers were going to blow them out. Because I said that was disrespectful. That is not going to happen. I said that was not going to happen. But I think it was a Mike Florio. He went on his show and said that the 49ers were going to blow them out. I said, what? What is he talking about?
Did you hear what Lamar said back to him?
Yeah, exactly. He said that he ain't put no pads on. He don't know what he's talking about. And he right. There's no reason why anyone should have thought that the 49ers were going to blow them out. Now, I did pick my team to win, but to blow them out, that's ridiculous. That's just no. Ravens are too good to allow that to happen.
And Joe, everything that you just said about Lamar, think about this though. This man's 20-1 against the NFC. An entire conference. It's like when you see it. I wish somebody else would have.
Yeah, the only team he lost to was the Giants last season.
And you see what I'm saying? Like that says a lot. And this is why I also had to ask Carl. I had to bring the question back up because I remember the Ravens panel. And I remember what Pop said on there. And he got to preaching. And he was like, man, Lamar can do everything that Mahomes can do with lesser talent. He said he wasn't placed in a perfect situation, but Lamar made the best of that situation. Grit and grind. Like, I think the Ravens are the perfect team for Lamar because, again, it represents the city. Like that city is everybody don't really respect Baltimore that way, but you got to be from here to understand what we going through. And that's what the Ravens are. You got to be from here and you got to be a fan of this team to understand what we going through and what we can do. And that's what he showed it yet again. Everyone wants to doubt me. I'm gonna go out there and win unanimous MVP. Okay, I've been hurt the last 2 seasons, but watch when I come back. My team is got the number 1 seed. Carl, you want to say it all the time in the chats. Most people wouldn't say that the weapons that he got are weapons on any other team, but now look, he's making it happen. I know Mahomes is your boy, but the one season where he ain't got no notable wide receivers, it's not looking good for him. So again, man, I know Mahomes is the GOAT, and I know that's your boy, but Lamar Jackson is doing everything that Pop said he was going to do this season. He going to show and prove.
Because he don't need the weapons to be effective. That's the difference between Lamar and Mahomes. He can win with his legs also, and because of his presence, the running game is A1. And they're gonna run the ball with Lamar, not throw the ball 44 times.
Now, watch when them running backs get back and they get healthy. I know you don't want Derrick Henry, but if y'all can get Derrick Henry for like a league minimum, I ain't got nothing else for the Ravens, man. I ain't got nothing else to say to him, man, because that run scheme is just great.
Man,
for the 49ers,
just imagine if J.K. Dobbins never got hurt.
Like, come on. But and just for the 49ers, they gonna be all right. The league don't need to freak out about this. This is an anomaly for them. Like we always said, the blueprint is you get up on the 49ers and then they got to play a comeback game. That's what Purdy had to do, right? And that's essentially what that we seen it. We always talked about the blueprint for this team, but we never actually seen someone go in and implement the blueprint. We seen a lot of people going with the Lego set, but they forgot the instructions. But that's just what it is. I don't care about no verbal assault. I'm telling you what I seen on the panel, Carl. The Ravens fans told you about your boy. All right. I'm just saying. Stop being modest, man. Y'all got the best team in the NFL. Now let's go on to the NBA. Yeah, man. Let's make these quick picks, man. Let's just talk about this right quick. We gotta pick because we didn't do it early this season, but now the NBA season has officially started. Lakers, the NBA season has officially started. All right. Job is not done. Baby, don't kill me. That was more so for AJ. But who gonna win the West? Joe.
Oh, I go first.
Oh.
Can we do the East first?
All right, let's go. We can go. Who gonna win the East?
I didn't want to do this. I really didn't want to do this, but I feel like I had no choice. But I'm going with Boston. But I got a feeling they're gonna fumble the bag like they always do. So I'm going with Boston.
Dave.
You don't know? You still thinking about it?
Because he could make a run. That's what
they could. They definitely could. But I'm not gonna put Miami right now. I'm gonna say Boston too. But Milwaukee's right there. That's all I gotta say. Boston, but Milwaukee's right there.
Man, Boston is like the Cowboys for me, man. You put the expectations there and then they let you down. I'm gonna do a shocker, man. I'm gonna go with a sleeper pick. I'm gonna say Philly. If Embiid is healthy, Philly got it.
Tom, I will say this. This will be Embiid's best playoff run. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I got him going to the East Conference Finals. But
they
one more
can
year
do
for
it.
Embiid.
Yeah, after that, if it don't work, then they gotta go back to the drawing board. All right, let's
I think for Philly, we just got to see them get out of the second round. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Another Cowboy-esque type of team. You know what I mean? Let's go out west. My bad. Joe, you can put the comment back. I said east.
Okay, go ahead.
There we go. We going out west, so I'll start.
Okay. Stop.
RBO told me something about the Minnesota Timberwolves that I really didn't think was going to actually come out and play, but shout out to Vaughn and Real Ballers Only. He said that big three that they got working there with the three centers and how they can maneuver the floor and stretch the floor. And Ant said that Jordan couldn't check him. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite him. But long as he ain't texting nobody, I think the Wolves can take this conference. The Nuggets are my second pick, but I think the Wolves can take the West. Go ahead, Dave.
That's shocking. I mean, Minnesota has played well. Don't get me wrong. They have played well, but we haven't seen what they can do in the playoffs yet. You know, we've seen them in the playoffs, but they haven't been successful. So they are playing a lot better in the regular season than they normally have. But right now, I'm still gonna go with the Nuggets. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm still gonna go with the Nuggets. But we got other teams in the West that are fighting as well. The Clippers are on a 9-game win streak right now, Well, they had a 9-game win streak, and Kawhi has played majority of these games. Healthy Kawhi is dangerous for the West. Now, I know a lot of people criticize the Clippers because of they got James Harden, but once Russ went to the bench and now Kawhi, they started to get everything together. Clippers look dangerous. That's all I gotta say.
Put some tornadoes in the comments.
But you got the Nuggets, right? All right. I see what they doing. He throwing out his first pick and he trying to get a little sprint going. Like, it's just in case they don't make it. I got this team. I got you going there.
I did that in the East, man.
I'm gonna shock y'all. It's not the Kings. It's not the Nuggets. I'm going with Kawhi. I'm going with the Clippers, man.
See, you did this last year.
I'm not shocked.
I'm quiet. It's my thought. I'm gonna pick them. Man, I'm going with the Clippers, man. Listen, the James Harden trade was perfect for them. Tyloo figured it out. They are not running through James Harden. They still running through Kawhi. But James Harden is the facilitator, and he can shoot. No, this to Westbrook. Westbrook can't spread the floor out. He just can't. He can't stretch it out. James Harden can. So they won't be relying heavy on James Harden in the playoffs if he have his slumps. Because they still got Westbrook right there, and they still got Kawhi. If Kawhi is healthy, I'm going with the Clippers. Clippers and Celtics.
Hey, okay, you say remember last year.
Yeah, I'm not shocked because
they got hurt.
You picked the
Clippers. What happened game one?
I told you it was gonna happen. Yeah. They got help now, though. They got help. I told you that back. Something about that back, man. New Balances, no support. But let's get out of here. I would have picked the Suns, but y'all already know what's going on there.
They be perfect already.
They're not even. They're below 500 right now, so I don't think anybody should be picking the Suns right now.
Just blow them out. All right, like the bean. I apologize and then pick us, but I gotta be real. We need another piece. We really do. We're not ready to win an NBA championship. Unless injuries something happen, we might. But right now, everybody full strength. We're not ready. But like the bean, I think we got a game today. I think I got double check, but been all over the place. Commanders, man. Listen, I don't care if you get rid of Airbnb. I don't care if you get rid of somehow. Just start fresh somewhere. All right, we gotta get rid of all this mode in the team. All this bad memories. Just get it out of here. And I'm cool with whatever the ownership is trying to do. I'm cool with getting Belichick because at least if we had Belichick, we have some type of order in the daggone team. So I'm cool with any direction that's better than we are right now. And appreciate y'all, fellas. I hope you had a great Christmas. And let's get it. Hashtag swiper season.
For me, shout out to Miami for winning on Christmas and not letting me have a miserable Christmas all the way. I appreciate y'all for thinking about me. But now San Fran, look, I'm not too worried. That was a really bad game against a really great team. But we got the Commanders on Sunday. Let's take care of business. And then we got the Rams after that last game of the season. Let's take care of business. Let's lock up, the playoff spot. Let's get ready for the playoffs and have the road to a quest for 6. We still got an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and make that happen. And then shout out to the Miami Hurricanes, still having a really good off season as far as the recruiting season. Top 6 recruiting class right now. So definitely excited about next season. We actually have a bowl game on the 28th. So can't wait for that. And Boston Red Sox. Tune into the doghouse tomorrow.
Hey, well, I'm gonna say this. Hey, Joe, when you call Pops back, just make sure you read that comment that he had a verbal assault. One of the Ravens fans got a verbal assault for me defending what Pop said on the panel. That's all. I need some backup here. Oh, my man showed up. Shout out to Big O, man, 5-month membership with the super chat. Shout out to the R2L. We about to turn up Saturday. 5 months. My bad. I say R2L. I'm thinking of 2s and 5s. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about these interceptions, man. All these quarterbacks throwing picks, and it ain't that. But anyway, shout out to R2L. We about to turn up Saturday. That underdog curse about to be broken. Hashtag we here. Hashtag AJ don't put me on no milk carton. Hey man, again, that's why y'all need to be a member, man. Make sure y'all join the chats because it be turned
Mhm.
up, man. We AJ done learn how to Photoshop. But let's get out of here. I want to say this. I told you after that Chargers game, I'm not gonna get too high. I'm not gonna get too low on the Cowboys. I'm gonna say Dave approach with my team and just be like, you know what? We are what we are. We can beat up on bad teams because again, I said it on another show. If we don't think you a good team, we gonna whoop up on you. But if you a good team, penalties might start happening. Also, hey Micah, see what happened when you talk too much on your podcast? You ain't got a holding call since the Cardinals game. It's about to be a whole new year. I told you, man, you gotta watch what you say. You out here getting manhandled, you getting mugged for the people who from the area. You know what happened when them bouncers drag you out the club? They don't care how they taking you out of there. That's what's happening when you pass rushing. They making sure you don't get nothing. Face mask, poke you in your eye, all that. You ain't getting no calls. It's just gonna happen. And one more thing. Shout out to Joe, man, for being one of the best fantasy football league commissioners. This is one of the best seasons I've had so far, and we only 2 years in. And hey, I wish somebody would have started Purdy instead of Fields. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Hey, this definitely was one of the best fantasy seasons. Well, the last two, because I haven't played fantasy football within like the last 10 years before last season. So shout out to R2L. I won a Super Bowl last year. I'm out the playoffs this time. So it's all good.
Man, you the Chiefs.
Well, it was pretty good. So it was a pretty good year, I guess.
He's saying that because he was
Devon had one job. Just beat Davis. All you gotta do.
Now look at him in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying?
That's all we got for y'all today. And we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.